Well, let's start at Stamford Bridge, because Jules, this is a classic, I think, trap game, because they're playing Leeds United. There is a big historic for those who thought football was invented in the 1990s. There's a big historic rivalry between these two sets of fans. They really don't like each other, and you kind of thought this is potentially a trap game coming after the exertions. Pochettino throws everybody a curveball by redesigning his lineup. Playing what looked to me like Mudryk at number 10 when the game started. He explained later that it's because Conor Gallagher, one of them was sick, the other one was tired, the other one had a boo-boo. And in the end, it takes an injury time goal from Conor Gallagher. Not your favorite, but how about that? To send them through.
I don't think it was pretty at all from a Chelsea point of view. I thought Leeds played really well. They were really brave in possession. They, even with maybe a B team or an A.
Can you address this, please? Because as you know, I don't follow the championship. But I do know Leeds players, because some of them used to be Premier League players. And I do know that Leeds United, I believe they're second in the championship on 72 points. They're gunning for that second automatic promotion spot. There's all these dudes on the bench whose names I recognize, like Bamford and Somerville and Yonto.
Somerville, who has probably been Leeds' best player this season.
So they played the B team.
They play the change team. Let's put it that
5
way.
to 6 starters out.
Exactly.
As did Chelsea. But Pochettino explained it's because they were unwell.
That's right. Not by choice. I guess that's why he put it. And I thought Leeds, certainly for big chunks of the game, were the better team and created chances, came back into the game. First took the lead, then came back into the game, and I thought really gave Chelsea a good run. And again, we're going back to this, where I don't know where this Chelsea team is. I recognize that there were some good things against Liverpool in the final, and they should have won the final. We've said that already on Monday. But in this game, even with the players missing, I'm still not too convinced exactly what is this team about. The two goals are lovely goals. The first one is a lovely goal. The movement, the triangle, I've got nothing against that. This is what I want to see more. The second goal as well is good. Gusto for Sterling, for Mudryk. This is a lovely move again. But too often in that game, I was left watching the television thinking like, okay, what are you trying to do here?
To be clear, you said they should have won that final. I say they could have won that final. Just to be clear, Liverpool fans.
Fair point.
But what surprised me too is, effectively, you're going into this game, and again, I know you've got a million injuries, and Nkunku, of course, was also out. Who I would have expected the guy should start. The guy should start every game when fit. But it was also a totally different system, and playing Mudryk in that role, at this stage of the season, you should not be. I question the wisdom of changing your system, right?
Completely.
And you wonder, all right, but he didn't physically have a third midfielder. Is that where we are now? Because Ugochukwo's out and Lavia's out, and is that really where we are? So that, like, oh look, I got to play Mudryk there of all people?
I mean, I don't know if really the team is that dependent on Gallagher. So then when he's not there, you're a bit lost and you don't know what to do, to the point that you bring Mudryk. And even if he scored, he didn't have a good game. This is not his position anyway. So that was never going to work out. Like, I don't know. Conor Gallagher has a lot of people like him. I understand the energy and what he represents for the club. This is not my cup of tea.
Yeah, this is not the game in which we criticize Conor Gallagher.
No.
This is not the day to do that.
No, my point was more like, if your team is so reliant on him, and again, maybe Poch thinks the world of him, and a lot of people might do. Again, it's not my cup of tea. I think there's a problem. If you spend £1 billion in the last 18 months and you're so dependent on one player, whoever that is, and Conor Gallagher in this instant, I think you're in trouble. And maybe the worst for me is that even on a winning night, Poch still have to find excuses of why they didn't play well. But the excuse that drives me mad, Gab, is when he says, well, Enzo and Caicedo are young. They need to learn. What do they need to learn? One is a World Cup winner who's already played in Champions League. The other one went to the World Cup, has played, 3 years now in the Premier League. They don't need anything to learn.
Yeah, I struggle with that. He pulled that out for Mudryk too, which fine. Mudryk's playing a different position. Mudryk's a very instinctive player. But you can't bring this up for Enzo and Caicedo as an excuse at this stage of the season. The FA Cup is Chelsea's Champions League this season.
Yeah.
Between now and the end of the season going forward, I think they should just focus all on that. Forget the league. It's not going to make much of a difference. You're not going to get relegated. You're not going to get into Europe. But just focus on the FA Cup, because that's what's most important.